Okay, so I just want to tell you a few things about the guitar. So we'll start with build quality. It is the same as a Gibson LPJ or some of the other cheaper models that they have. As in, it doesn't have the lacquer finish. You can see I think you can see the chips right there. Yep, so this is chipped pretty badly, which when I buy it secondhand and for such a cheap price, it doesn't bother me. I'm sure I could sell it tomorrow and make $100 or two. It's got a 60's neck. So it's nice and thin, so it's actually, I prefer it. I'd say it's slightly thinner than the LPJ models that I played. The P90s sound great, they're very punchy. You can do a lot of kinds of music on them. You can play heavy music, but it's not recommended for down tuning. I just find if you're trying to chug on the E string, it just starts to fizzle out, and then you don't get that same punch as you do with the humbuckers. So. But other than that, obviously for Zeppelin or anything like that, distortion, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, you can get all those tones. I just wouldn't try to go any heavier than that. So next, good frets are good, definitely good for a Gibson. Not out of this world, but it feels pretty good. It's a little rough. Everything else, switches, knobs have been good. The nut feels completely fine. It's not sharp at all like I had on one of my LPJs. Tuners are typical Gibson tuners, and they don't stay in tune. So I got 3 other guitars, not counting the one on the wall back there, that I play regularly, a Paul Reed Smith Custom SE24 and a Paul Reed Smith SE Tremonti. And I literally, for the last month or two, I've just been swapped. Depends on my mood. Every day I keep them different tunings. But I play this guitar for a few days in a row, then the next day I'll pick it up, play a different guitar for a few days, and kind of fall in love with each of the guitars. So as far as build quality and quickness on the neck and the feel, Paul Reed Smiths, I would say, are miles above the Gibson. Still feel that way. The Paul Reed Smiths are extremely light, which gets me to probably the best point about this guitar is that this thing is very light. It must be a chambered body. I'd say 7 pounds, probably at the most, because it feels like a light, comfortable guitar. It's well balanced. I like the feel of holding a Les Paul. So yeah. And the P90s, can't remember if I said it on this edit or not, but the P90s, they don't hum too badly. When I'm playing at at home levels, and I'll get fairly loud, loud enough for my kids to complain, that I never hear it. Doesn't bother me at all. And these are the 60's P90s, which are supposed to be quieter than the 50's. And then when I take this guitar to go jam with my 4x12 and with a drummer, and we got the distortion cranked up, you absolutely hear the hum in between songs when you're done playing, but it hasn't been an issue. I know I have tried P90s before at stores, and I have been turned off by the sound of the hum. So these 60 ones appear to be so far so good, haven't been an issue. And yeah, so other than that, I'm quite happy with the guitar.